see you. So there's an orientation of the members-elect for the 13th Parliament. What do we expect? Of course, now they're just going to be told where everything is, but what else is going on?
Well, good morning, Trevor. Indeed, it's a very chilling morning here at Parliament Building, where, like you said, the orientation of the MPs-elect for the National Assembly is already ongoing, started exactly at 9 a.m. Remember that it's a two-day exercise, and this one will involve actually this particular exercise to be presided over by the clerk of the National Assembly, being assisted by her deputy. But right now, I just want to bring over the clerk herself, that is Sarah Kyoko, who's actually presiding over this particular exercise. And we know it's a two-day exercise, and already MPs elect, already some of them are here. We're expecting more for the next 2 days or so. But just tell us, we saw you going around so far. What have you assessed?
We have put in place a number of stations from where we will receive our members. So far, we have 333 members who have been gazetted by the IEBC, and those are the elected members. We still have 4 constituencies that are yet to conduct their elections, and we still have the remaining 12 nominated members who are yet to be nominated. At the stations that you can see across, we are going to have the first station where the members will present their own documents so that we're able to identify them. The national ID, the certificate from IEBC, and the PIN from the KRA. Yes, and we will receive those documents and record them ourselves for our own data as Parliament.
And just for clarification, is this for returning members of Parliament, or is it for the newcomers?
We are collecting data from both the returning members of Parliament, but also the new members of Parliament. Every Parliament is a fresh Parliament, so we receive data afresh for every Parliament. That means that we will receive the data from those who have been here before, but the new ones, yes.
You've said it's 233 members at least. 333 for now. So what will happen to the rest who will not be in today's and tomorrow's exercise?
Once they are ready to come, we will also receive their documents in a similar manner. After we have received their documents, we shall continue to verify the documents in the next tent, take photographs of them in the next tent, have them fill biodata forms in the next tent, and then we give them information on their entitlements from the Human Resource Directorate, and also their medical related information. And at the last tent, we will give them an ID. In the process, after the photo is taken, we will get an ID which will issue at the last tent. Orientation basically is for them so that we can receive them, show them around, and tell them what they would be entitled to. The last thing we will do is that we will take them to the chamber, and we will show them how to use the chamber equipment, like for speaking, like for voting, like how to, because we have gone paperless. Our documents are uploaded. If you need the constitution, how do you access it in the iPad? How do you access the standing orders? How do you access the order paper? And the order paper in this case is the agenda of the day during each sitting. So we will take them round that. Once that is done, we will await the convening of the first sitting of Parliament, which is normally done by the President, and within 30 days after the date of election. Once the sitting is called, we'll be able to swear in the members, elect a Speaker and a Deputy Speaker. After that, we will roll out a big induction where we can now take them into detail in the provisions of the standing orders, how committees operate, and how Parliament generally works. Yes.
Okay. And of course, also in the notice that you gave and published on newspapers in regards to today's and tomorrow exercise, you did mention that, some members may be required. They should just be on standby in case any more information, documentation is needed other than the PIN, the original IDs, as well as the certificate from IEBC returning officer. So you did mention that additional documentation may be required, and especially for purposes of biodata such as the medical card and insurance and all that. Have you ever also experienced such in the previous sittings or previous orientations of Parliament?
Yes. This is not the first time we are conducting an orientation. It has happened over the years, and from the onset of the bicameral legislature, we have conducted it in this manner. So this is not the first time we are doing it.
And of course, it's only 2 days. Maybe it wouldn't be enough for this particular, and especially for MPs, the newcomers, the new MPs elect. Of course, 2 days won't be enough. We also know that there will be an induction later on. The dates and the venues to be confirmed later?
Yes, the dates and the venue would be confirmed later, because that has to follow their swearing in, the election of the speaker and the election of the deputy speaker. But that should be shortly after that is done, after the swearing in. Yes, yeah.
And of course, let me just drop you in. We are expecting a very, very busy 13th House as soon as they will be sworn in. And what is just your advice as, you know, the clerk of the National Assembly for the new coming members and also the ones that already existed in terms of policy formulation and their conduct in the National Assembly? We know that already there is intense lobbying in regards to, you know, even selection of the speakers and leaders of majority, minority. There's already it's really busy behind the scenes. But what is just your advice to the MPs who are coming, just to calm down their nerves? It has been a very, very busy campaign session. What can you advise the members of the 13th House?
First of all, is to assure them that the administration of the National Assembly is ready to receive them. And once we receive them, we are ready to facilitate them, to understand their roles, to take them through the rules of procedure which they would be required to follow, and to assist them to clearly understand how to execute their mandate. That we assure them we shall do. Yes.
Thank you so much. I know you're very busy. It's a very busy day for you and your team behind you. This time I'll just release you. Yeah, so thank you so much. That was Sarah Kyoko, the acting clerk of the National Assembly, just ensuring that today's exercise goes on smoothly and as planned. You're talking about the orientation, the registration of the 13th House, the MPs-elect of the National Assembly who are just making their way here at Parliament Building. What will happen is that they are required to formally present their original national IDs, original original pin of the KRA pins, as well as that certificate that they received from the IEBC's returning officers. So this is just made to assure that their biometrics are well taken care of, because this will be the chain of command. And according to the clerk of the National Assembly, the acting clerk of the National Assembly, Sarah Kyoko, said that this particular will information is vital because it will be used for their salaries, limitation, as well as allowances, and also passage of information in terms of the standing orders. So each and every MP elect, whether they are returning or the fresh ones, are required to be involved actively in this particular 2-day exercise orientation of MPs elect. And so we're just here watching what's happening, and that is the latest from Parliament Buildings. Trevor.